Welcome to the Extreme Chess Championship. Today we have 8 of the best young chess players in America competing to be the first Extreme Chess Champion.
Crushing everyone's soul is in the realm of possibility.
Whenever you lose, you're not happy.
I think I'm gonna win.
It's kind of like Survivor, right?
I played in parks from Manhattan to Brooklyn.
A lot of girls are better than guys.
I have the best chess tactics.
I'm gonna play aggressively and hope for the best.
Welcome back to New York City and the grand finale of the Extreme Chess Championships. I'm Jonathan Corbblah and this is Jennifer Shahade. We're really excited to bring you 2 amazing players who've made it all the way through this knockout, Justus and Elliott. Both players are determined and are going to bring their A-game for this last match.
It's going to be an exciting match. We've got Justus, who's the youngest player in the field and has made it all this way. He's shown great grit and determination. It doesn't matter what type of position he gets, he just figures out some way to win. And then we've got Elliott, who played an amazing game in the semifinals. He's creative, he's on the top of his game, and he's also more experienced. So it's going to be a real close battle. I'd say the slight favorite going into this match is Elliott.
Definitely Elliott was not only the favorite going into this match, but he's also a pre-tournament favorite. But I've got my money on the underdog, Justus. But let's see what the players have to say.
You have any energy left for this game?
I'm hungry to win.
I want to play Elliott Liu because I played him in the New York International and he beat me.
I just want to say good luck. It'll be a good game, and we'll see what happens.
We're so excited we made it to the last round of our Extreme Chess Championship. Playing white, we have Elliott Liu from San Diego. Playing black, we have Justus Williams from the Bronx. This game will decide who's going to be our very first Extreme Chess Champion. Good luck, gentlemen.
And now for the game, we have Justus with the black pieces, Elliott with the white pieces. And let the game begin.
This is going to be great. Justus is playing the exact same opening that Elliott just crushed Alex in. He's playing another Sicilian.
That takes some real nerve, but Justus is fearless.
He wants maybe Elliott to feel overconfident. I'm playing against this young kid, he just made master.
Well, maybe Justus might have seen something in particular in that game that he thought that he might have been able to take advantage of.
I totally agree. You know what they say about chess? It's a combination of art, science, and sport. Sport because it drains you, art because it requires creativity, and science because you got to do those experiments away from the board before you see what's going to work. Justus is walking right into that same line that he played against Alex.
Hopefully Justus has some kind of novelty because, as we just saw, Elliott knows what he's doing here.
In the semifinals match where Elliott brutalized Alex tried to trade knights early on. Justus instead, he moves his pawn forward. He's going to try to play a little bit more defensively.
I'm anticipating that Justus is not going to leave his king lying in the middle too long because we know how Elliott likes to make those crazy sacrifices.
I have a weekly live webcast entitled Your Games Analyzed. It's been a really fun way for me to stay in the chess loop. I'm going to come over here right now and show you what my screen setup looks like. The viewers will actually be able to see my computer screen and my face simultaneously. Okay, so anyway, I am just about to start this week's show. With that, I will be signing off.
Besides chess, he likes to skateboard. He's really good in basketball.
What would be like a perfect present for somebody like Justus?
I would say meeting the president. If that happened, he would love that.
Elliott trying to expand a little bit on the queen side. He played this move, he's pushed his pawn forward, and that's going to open his rook up into the game. Elliott played knight to d5 just like he did in the last game.
Let's see if it works for him again.
Justus actually just grabbed it. He said, "You're gonna give me that? I'm gonna take it."
Justus is truly fearless, but last time it didn't work for Alex to decline all the sacrifices, so maybe Justus, realizing that Elliott was gonna start giving pieces away, wanted to walk right into it and see if he can accept them and win.
Justice makes a very interesting defensive choice here. You see his king's in the center. We've seen a lot of that in this tournament. And he's worried that if he castles kingside, Elliott's going to do something similar to him that he did last time, play knight to f5 and use that knight as a kamikaze mission to checkmate.
There's Alex looking in the window, looking at the competition that he could have had if he had won his last round game.
Justice decides to castle queenside, even though the king is very airy on that side of the board.
Justice castles to the queen side, but unfortunately there's no pawn cover over there. It's kind of like the emperor has no clothes. He's out in the middle of the street and he has no protection. It's going to be pretty dangerous for him.
Elliott played knight into the heart of the enemy position. That knight, Elliott likes the knight. He's got some moves with his knight.
That knight is in there like swimwear. With that knight on c6, he's threatening the rook and he's threatening the knight in the center of the board. There's a lot of pressure on Justice's position. Maybe he's going to regret having castled to the queen side.
He's trading off a bunch of pieces here. He's taking the bishop, and then he's taking that pawn in the center of the board. So maybe Justice had this all worked out in advance when he castled queenside. This position is quite interesting because if white were just to capture the knight, then Justice would capture back the knight and be attacking the rook at the same time. So instead, Elliott decides to grab the rook. But now, when Justice recaptures, he's got a knight and a bishop for a rook.
And that bodes well for him because the bishop and knight definitely have a lot of mobility.
Elliott does not want to trade pieces in this position. He wants to try to continue to attack that black king, so he backs his bishop up.
Elliott's been very, very bold and aggressive in this tournament so far.
Trying to make some maneuvers with his queen. Maybe he's thinking about some kind of sacrifice.
And he's moved his queen to a3, perhaps a sacrifice on not only a6, but setting up maybe bishop a5.
And he did play bishop a5. Ooh, and I like this move by Justice. He plays d5. He's pushing his pawn forward, uncovering an attack on the queen. So a very nice move from Justice. And Elliott does not want to get his queen taken for free. He's way too good for that. You don't get to the Extreme Chess Championship Finals by hanging your queen.
Justice is worried about queen taking the knight on c7 checkmate. Luckily the queen was defending it, but white was threatening rook e8 check.
Justice saw it, and now again he's trying to trade queens because he knows it's going to be a lot harder to get checkmated if he trades queens.
Both players are playing very strategically, however they are eating a lot of time off of their clock in the process.
Elliott acquiesces and allows that trade of queens. He figures he can't avoid it forever. Technically, Justice should be better, but Elliott's just maintaining the pressure, so make sure it's not easy for the talented phenom.
It is a fantastic match. Neither of them want to give any advantage to their opponents.
Again, Justice trying to trade pieces. Elliott saying, no thank you. I know I'm going to be worse if I trade too many pieces. And finally, Justice manages to complete his development. And what do you think? Does this mean that Justice has got the upper hand all of a sudden?
He has his kingside pawns marching up the board. He has those two bishops that are going to be bearing down on white's position.
I agree with you that Justice seems like he's got the upper hand, but I like how Elliott is maintaining the pressure. A lot of weaker players, they would fold. You know, they see that they're in a bad position and they start making it even worse.
And with infiltrating those rooks onto the 7th rank and the 6th rank, that not only pins those bishops, but makes the king in a more tenuous situation. Justice has to be very, very careful that he doesn't lose track of what those rooks are threatening.
The rooks are in fantastic positions. Couldn't ask for more.
The pressure's doing so much to Justice that now he's got under 10 seconds in time. Luckily, that 5-second increment makes the huge difference.
That's a nice move. So Elliott plays his pawn forward, hitting the knight. And now we gotta see, well, what is Justice gonna do? Well, first he takes the pawn off.
It looks like he opts to move his knight to d4, but that opens up a possibility of a checkmate, which Elliott just missed. He did not see it. He immediately plays bishop b4. If you actually look at that position, the rook could have slid in for a checkmate, Jennifer.
You are absolutely correct. That rook moving over to the c7 square, even in such a rapid time control, I would expect two players of this caliber to be able to see rook c7 checkmate.
These players are rapidly progressing through the game. Lots of trades have been made.
And it looks like Justice is on top. I mean, Justice has got a nagging advantage here because he's managed to grab Elliott's extra pawn. That was really Elliott's only compensation, that he was able to get that pawn on the A file earlier. But now that he's lost it, Justus just has a clear edge. It's either Elliott is going to lose this game or draw this game. I don't see him winning it anymore, especially not after missing that mate.
Elliott does have one chance. Remember, time is of the essence, Jen.
The good thing that Elliott's doing here, he's able to make moves really quickly because he's just moving his rooks back and forth. The onus is on Justus to prove that he's got to win. It's going to be interesting to see if he manages to do it.
Both players are finally able to trade a pair of rooks off.
Well, I'm not sure. I still think Justus has a little tiny bit of winning chance. Whether he can do it in such a short time is going to be a real tight battle.
If you look at Justus's clock, things are getting very dangerous. He's under 10 seconds and flirting with disaster.
He's got 5, 4, 3, 2, and he finally makes a move, but he almost lost on time.
Both of these players are making snap decisions, but they both want to win.
Well, I don't think Elliott's winning anything in this position except maybe the tiebreaker. The only way he's got a chance is if Justus does lose track of the time and just flags. Justus makes this move. He jumps the knight into the heart of Elliott's position, but actually I think this move leads to an instant draw because Elliott just captured the knight, and now after Justus recaptures and the king captures the pawn, they're left with king versus king. We know that that's a draw in chess. There's no pieces to mate with. They shake hands.
Elliott looks very happy and relieved to have not lost the game. However, he wouldn't be so happy if he finds out about that checkmate that he missed. But how does Justus feel?
Well, I think Justus is actually really disappointed. He played really well, except for allowing that checkmate in one. Of course, he shouldn't have missed that. He's way too strong to miss that normally. But other than that, he was really trying to squeeze that advantage out, and he was so close to doing it. And I think he knows that in terms of the clock, he's not as experienced at playing quick as Elliott, and this was his real chance to become the extreme chess champion.
A missed opportunity, but maybe he can make up for it. They have one more game to play, but this time the time is a huge factor. Justus has only 17 seconds, while Elliott has 24.
These guys have to win a chess game in less than a couple minutes.
Not only is the title of champion on the line, but they have to make their best possible moves in the shortest amount of time. Now we have Justus with the white pieces and Elliott with black. It's going to be exciting. Let's go to our final game.
Every time a player makes a move in the Extreme Chess Championship, they get an additional 5 seconds on the clock. This is called an increment, and don't forget, if a player's clock ticks down to 0, it's game over.
Now Justus has the white pieces. He starts the game off with knight f3. Elliott replies with knight f6. Both players are rushing through the opening in order to try to amass some time that they can use for a more crucial period in the middle game and the end game.
Look at Elliott just making rapid fire moves to improve his position, just moving his rook over. Justus is taking a little bit too much time. He's under 30 seconds, whereas Elliott has already accumulated more than a minute, and that is going to be really precious seconds for later in the game.
Both players are settling into a very even position in this middle game.
Look at Justus, he's going under 20 seconds.
This is a big difference in experience here. Elliott, a more experienced, polished player, is able to conserve time based on having played these moves previously.
And I like Elliott's position too, moving that A pawn forward to clamp down in Justus's position, and he's under 10 seconds.
He's down to 8, 7.
And he gets back to 12.
Wow.
But he is really getting close every move. Now, Elliott is pausing a little bit here. He's trying to figure out the right move. He does like his position. It's a very nice bishop e6. He's moving his bishop to try to hit that b3 square.
Come on, Justus, make a move. Time is running out.
5 seconds,
3, 2. Oh, with 1 second, he finally made a move. He's got to pull this one out if he's gonna. Again, 3, 2, 1. Oh no!
He loses the game on time.
Wow, we have our winner. Elliott points out the clock. Justus demoralized. Elliott, our champion.
Elliott is our first extreme chess champion. He's gonna go back to Italy, and with that title, it's amazing. What a great finish by Elliott.
Wow, what an amazing game. Amazing champion. Elliott played well the entire tournament.
And what a terrible way to lose. Justus just lost on time. You know what? He played with fire every game. He almost lost on time many times, and finally he got burned.
How can you explain what happened with the clock?
I thought I had enough time, and I just started to play slowly, and I just didn't manage my time well.
It's your favorite thing to do, play chess?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Elliott. I can't believe this long tournament is over.
Me either.
Yeah, being the very first Extreme Chess Champion.
I mean, after 15 hours of filming and playing, I just feel relieved, happy, everything combined. Chess could be a fun event, and the public can appreciate it.
Congratulations, Elliott, and we'll see you all in the next Extreme Chess Championship.
And that was our champion, Elliott Liu. What an amazing tournament, Jennifer. From the start to the finish. I was really excited the entire way, and we had a hard-fought game at the end, and a very deserving champion.
I just can't wait for the second Extreme Chess Championship. This is Jennifer Shahade signing out with Jonathan Corbblah.
Take care.